It's starting to look a lot like Christmas everywhere we go. Hello, welcome back. I am so glad you can join me today. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today, we are getting ready for Christmas. We're going to be making our black cake. Now, about 5 months ago, I told you we all set our fruits together. I told you to go ahead, get your fruit, set your fruits, and prepare it for Christmas because we will be baking a cake together. So I am all excited today. Today I am going to show you how I make Barbados black cake. This is called black cake, or it's called grape cake, or it's called fruit cake. So you can call it whichever one you want to call it. But today we're going to be making some cake. Okay, so I am all excited. You see I have my little Christmas shirt and my little Christmas hat on because it is Christmas is in the air and I am happy. So let's get started. Okay guys, so this is the star of the show today. This is our fruits that we made for our black cake. If you have not seen that video where it made the fruit, I'm going to leave a link below so that you can go check it out to see how to make your fruits. You're not too late, you can still make your fruit. So let's get started on making our cake. The first thing we're gonna do, and guys, I'm using this machine here to help me a little bit so that I can go a little bit faster. But you can also do it the old-fashioned way, which we did the old-fashioned way back in Barbados, is beat it by hand or use a hand mixer. So in here, I'm gonna be making 2 pounds of cake, but I'm starting with 1 pound because this mixer is small. So I'm using here 2 cups of sugar, and here I have 2 cups or 1 pound of butter. Okay, I'm gonna be using 4 sticks of butter, and this butter I left out overnight so it would melt and get soft. Okay, so you can take your butter out of the refrigerator at least a couple hours before you get started so that it will be nice and soft. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna beat this until it is nice and fluffy. So let it take its time in here. This is my little helper. So far in here I have a pound of sugar and a pound of butter that's being beaten. So what I'm going to add to this is 8 eggs. Okay, so let me go ahead and break 8 eggs. Okay, so that's 8 eggs. Let me just rest these over here. And to my eggs, I'm going to add some lemon skin, guys. I'm going to peel this lemon skin right here. And with this lemon, no, guys, I guess Christmas is already here. To this, I'm going to add some lime, not lemon, lime skin, which I'm peeling right now. And what this is going to do is cut the rawness of the egg. You know, sometimes you're eating a cake and you don't want to eat it because it smells so raw. This is going to cut the rawness of the egg. So I drop that in there. I'm going to add to my eggs 1 teaspoon of vanilla. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And to that vanilla, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of almond essence. And then I'm just going to blend that up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to beat the eggs together along with the skin in there. Okay. Rest here. Now, guys, let's look at our cake here, our mix. Let me get my spoon. And you see, guys, with the mix, you see how the mix is nice and fluffy. This is how you want your mix to be, okay, guys? So mix it up until it's nice and light and airy, till the sugars are melted and it's nice and airy. Okay, look like whipped cream. That's how you want it to be, okay? And then you turn this back on, and I am going to slowly add my eggs to that. While that continues to beat, I slowly add my eggs. And I'm going to let my lime skin go on inside there as well, because I will retrieve that later. It's not going to break up. You don't have to worry about it. If it breaks in half, you can take that out. Get all that in there. And just let that beat for a few minutes. So I think that's pretty much good. That's pretty good right there. So now you're going to clean your spoon to get everything off. My lime skin is still there. I'm not ready to take that out yet, so that can stay in there a little bit longer. Now over here, guys, I have a big bowl, a nice big bowl, and I'm going to transfer this to my bowl, because as I said to you, I'm making 2 pounds of cake. This is 1 pound right here, okay? So if you were making for just your family and that's it, you could just do this. This is 1 pound. But I'm doing a big set today, so I'm going to do another pound. So I just transfer this. And I am going to start the process all over again. I just didn't want to put too much because this bowl is a little bit small. That's why I do it separate like this. And I wanted people that's doing a small amount to see exactly how to do it. So I will get started. I'm going to let it sit for a few minutes while I get started on my second pound. Okay, so I just put in here my second batch, which is another pound here, a pound of butter and a pound of sugar, which is going to beat right here. And once this is all beaten up, I'm going to add it to this batch I have right here and then mix everything up together. But guys, let me tell you about black cake in Barbados. Black cake is, everybody in the islands, the Caribbeans, make black cake. This is a traditional thing that everybody made, and it is made on Christmas. Now when I was growing up, the only time we get to eat this cake was Christmas, okay? Christmas morning, everybody got black cake. You were happy, you were excited about that. And you see I have this machine here that is helping me, which goes so much faster to beat this cake. We did not have this. So my sister and I, my grandmother would give us that sugar and that butter, and we would sit there and we would be beating and beating while she was doing her other things, which was maybe cooking or cleaning or you know, doing laundry or whatever she was doing, because Christmas was a bit, listen, my kids don't know the fun that we had growing up in Barbados. I tell my kids about this stuff and they say they wish they grew up in Barbados. But we had fun, and around Christmas used to be special. As a little girl, it was very special because people would start taking their house apart from maybe like the beginning of November. They would take the furniture apart. Everybody got their, if your house needed painting, I remember we got a fresh new paint job done to the house, okay? If you had wood floor, you get your floor will be varnished. If you had wood furniture, which we did, that wood furniture will be taken outside. We were given like sandpaper to sand that furniture down, and then my father, my grandmother's husband, would paint that furniture. Okay, so Christmas morning, everything was brand new. Throughout the month, the early month of December, so they would go to town and they would buy material and come home and they would cut their curtains out. And we learned to sew from an early age, because we would sew up those curtains, and then Christmas morning you were so excited you hang your brand new curtain. You had brand new curtain, brand new tablecloth, brand new bed. Remember the grass bed, guys? You cut cuscus grass and put it out to dry, and then they get the material and make a bedding, and you cut a slit in the center, and they will stuff that, okay, with the cuscus grass, and then sew it for the center. Guys, this goes this goes way back, because the younger people don't know anything about this stuff. This goes way back, but this is how it was for us. But it was fun. We loved it, right? And so Christmas morning, when you put everything up in your house, that house used to smell so good, because you had all new furniture. Because, you know, as I said, it was painted over, it was nice, the house was painted, new curtain, new tablecloth, new everything, and that house used to smell good. Okay, and one thing that everybody in Barbados will have on Christmas morning is a piece of black cake. If you don't bake cake, there's somebody in the area that bake it, that you can pay them to bake you a cake. Or maybe your neighbor, you and your neighbor get along good, and your neighbor is good at baking, and she would give you a slice of her cake. My grandmother was a very good baker. That is one thing she was. She was a good cook, and she was a good baker. And there was a couple ladies that were her friends, that was her next door neighbor, that I know did not bake, but they had cake every Christmas, because my grandmother took cake for them every Christmas. She didn't charge them for it, she just did that, okay, for them. So everybody baked this for Christmas. So I am doing this early so that you can go to get your ingredients. You can turn up the Tinaraine video, and you can make some black cake for your family. Surprise everybody. Now I want to ask you something, guys. I want to ask you all to subscribe to the channel. I am up to 3,000 subscribers, and by the end of December I would like to have at least 5,000 subscribers. So if some of you that watch the video that haven't subscribed, give me a subscribe, or give me a thumbs up, and share the channel, share it with your friends. I am thinking of doing a giveaway. I'm not sure exactly yet what the giveaway is going to be, but I'm asking you to share the channel with your friends, and I will let you know at a later date if I'm able to make this, if I'm able to get 5,000 subscribers by December 31st. I am gonna do a giveaway. So guys, share the channel. This giveaway, I haven't decided, but I'm gonna do something really good, not cheap, nothing, something really, a really good giveaway. Okay, so you must share the channel so I can get 5,000 by December 31st. Okay, so my butter and sugar and eggs is in here. So now I'm gonna set this aside for a minute. I'm gonna measure out 2 pounds of flour. So in all, I'm gonna use 4 cups, okay, in here. So far I have 1 cup, because we're putting our dry ingredients together, guys. That's 2 cups. So all together this is 4 cups of flour. So that's 2 pounds of flour altogether. So in here I have some ground cinnamon. So I'm gonna use 1 tablespoon. One tablespoon of cinnamon. Put that in there. This is nutmeg. I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. And this is allspice. And I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of allspice. 1 teaspoon of allspice. Put that in there. Oops. I'm going to use half a teaspoon of salt. Guys, I forgot to mention, when you are beating your butter, make sure your butter is unsalted butter, okay guys? Now, this is half a teaspoon of salt. And I have here baking powder. Baking powder. I will use 1 tablespoon of baking powder. 1 tablespoon equals to about 3 teaspoons. So 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Put that in there. And I would sieve this all in here together. And these little parts here, just kind of take your finger and break it up so you can get all of that good stuff in there. Now I'm going to mix this all up to make sure that everything is incorporated. I'm going to mix it up. Now that I have my flour, everything is mixed into the flour, I'm going to set this flour aside so we can get this cake done. So let me put this over here. Bring this back over here. Mix this up a little bit. Guys, the star of the show is right here. So I am going to add 2 cups. I'm going to add 2 cups of my fruit to this to get started and mix it in, okay? So let me get a big spoon and dip that out. Let me mix it up a little bit because it's been sitting in here. It's been in here for 5 months, guys. 5 months it's been sitting. This can sit for up to a year, maybe longer. As long as you keep checking on it, don't let it dry out, keep adding alcohol to it, it is all good. So I'm going to measure 2 cups of this in here, and this is what we're going to get started with. Check out my previous video and that will show you how to make it. So I'm going to add this to this. I'm going to go ahead now, before I add this, I'm going to go ahead and take my lime skin off because then it's going to be a bit hard to find it in there. So I'm going to take this out of here. I think it's done its job, so I could take it out. I have 2 of them in here. This is just to, as I said, to cut the rawness of the egg, to help to cut that. So I don't need it anymore. And there's a piece that just dropped here. You take that out. And that's it, guys. So now to this, I'm going to add 2 cups of fruit. And I will mix this in. And I have here browning, okay? You need browning to give you the color that you want. Ooh, it's tight. There we go. And I'm gonna put 4 tablespoons in here. I'm gonna put 1, 2, 3, We're gonna use 4 tablespoons right now, guys, of browning. Browning is something that you don't want to add too much in the beginning, but you add more as you go along. So right now we have 4 tablespoons of browning. Mix it up well. I'm gonna need some more coloring because, as you can see, it is not quite the color that I want it to be yet. So I will be adding some more to it. I would also start to add my flour in slowly. I'm gonna add my flour in slowly. Couple more tablespoons of browning in there because I'm looking for a nice dark color. That's 4. So this is 8 all together that I put in here. And I'm gonna mix this up. Got to switch hands. But this, I know a lot of Bajans is gonna be making this either the day before Christmas or a couple of days before Christmas. So share this channel with all your friends so they can make some cake. If you have not done your fruit and you're saying, oh my gosh, I haven't done any fruit, I would like to be able to do that, you can still do your fruit and steam it. Get a big saucepan, boil some water, get a smaller pot, put the grind up fruit in the smaller pot in that pot of water, and just monitor it and keep stirring it. And you can have your, you can still have your fruit, guys. It's never too late. Put it all together for this 2 pounds of cake. I use 10 tablespoons of baking of browning. So I think this is good. Look at the color, the texture of this, guys. See that? And the color. I don't think I need to put anything else in there. Feels pretty light and good. But I'm gonna top this off, guys. This is the wine that back home that my grandmother used years ago. This has been around for years, and this is the wine that we always catch. You buy like a big bottle of this, and this is what she used to bake. So I am going to pour in here half a cup pour some wine in here, and that's it. So I'm gonna mix this all up really well and set this aside and get my pans. So far I have my stove right now set at 350 degrees. So you want to go ahead and turn your stove on, so when you put the pans in there, it'll be nice and hot. So guys, sometimes you're wondering what to give your friends for the holidays and you're not sure. Well, if you have a friend that don't know how to bake a cake and you want to give them some cake, why don't we, instead of just slicing a slice of cake to give them, why don't we give them a whole pan of cake? So look at these pans that they have here, like these pans. You can bake your cake in here. When it's all done, you just put your lid on, okay? So I have a couple of these. These are what I'm going to be giving to relatives. I have these small pans here too, which I have covers, and I have these. right? I give these to a couple people at work. They're small. Now I have a knife right here where I will take, you can easily just, let me put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. You can take a knife and you can just go at the top and just kind of bend this back a little bit and take this off, right? And bake your cake in here. Your cake is not going to come that high because in each pan you're going to put the cake at least up to 3/4. You're not going to put it all the way because it's going to rise and come over. You don't want that. So put it at least up to 3/4 quarters of the can. And guys, and when you're done, you put your lid back together and you give this. So I have 2 of these that I'm going to be taking to work to give my co-workers. They're one of my co-workers, she's from Puerto Rico, she's never had black cake, and another one American, she's never tasted it. So I'm going to take some cake for them so they can try it. And I have these for some other friends and so on. So this is something that you can do. You make your regular cake, which I have 2 cake pans here that I'm going to be using. But I just want to give you guys some ideas, okay, as to making a cake and making it in a night. And I bought these pans, guys, from the dollar store. All these pans cost me was $1 each, okay, from the dollar store. And you can bake your cake in here, okay, and give it to your friends if you plan on giving to your friends, or if you want to, you know, bake some extra cake. Because my thing is, if you're going to be baking black cake, why just make a pound? Make 2 pounds and make a whole lot of it and just freeze some of it, because after Christmas you got New Year and then you got Easter coming up. So freeze you some cake so you don't have to bake again, okay? So let me go ahead and show you what my next step will be. Guys, so what you do is you get a pencil, you get your paper, and you just go all the way around. Okay, and then we're gonna cut that out. Okay, and now your butter, you're gonna butter your pans, and I'm using the same wrapper that my butter was in. I didn't throw the wrappers away because it still have that little bit of butter on it, so I saved that. And then I'm going to take this paper that I just cut and just put it to the bottom. So you're going to make sure you grease your pan and then put that to the bottom of the pan, okay guys? So that's 1 down, and I will continue to do the others that way. And you have your paper to the bottom of all of them, and they're nice and greased. So our cake has been resting for a while. So now I'm gonna go ahead, my stove is already set at 350. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my pans. So I'm gonna start with the big pans. And you're gonna, don't bring this all the way, we're gonna do at least 3, up to 3/4 way. Because remember, it's gonna rise, as I said. So we have here, I have here all the cake. So what I'm gonna do is just take my spoon and smooth it out. Make sure it's nice and smooth for each of them. Smooth it out nicely. And we want to get all the air bubbles out, so you're gonna just take it and just do that to it to get, so it can settle. Get all the bubbles out, guys. So once you go ahead and try to get as much of your bubbles, your air bubbles out, then for me, I'm going to put these on this pan. And this cake should be in the oven for approximately an hour and 30 minutes, but I will check the time and then I will come back and I will let you know how long it stayed in there. These ones, because they're smaller, they're not going to stay for an hour and 30 minutes. They'll stay probably for, in 30 minutes I will check them to see if they're done, and I'll let you know how long these took. But remember, these are smaller than the big ones, so these are not going to take as long. So you have to make sure you check these within 30 minutes because you don't want them to burn, okay? These big ones should take at least an hour and 30 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the oven. But before I put them in the oven, guys, I have here a pan, and I'm gonna put some hot water in this pan. Oh, it's a little hot because I had it on the stove. And this is boiling water that I have in here, and I'm gonna pour this into this pan right here. I'll put this to the bottom of the stove. This would help your cake to cook evenly. Okay, guys, so I'll put this to the bottom of the oven, and all the cakes is gonna go at the top of the oven, and that's gonna help it to cook evenly. Okay, so as soon as these cakes are, as soon as I start to check them, maybe within 30 minutes or so, I'll come back and let you know how they're doing. Guys, look at our cakes. Our cakes are all done. These ones here was in first. These 4 right here took exactly 45 minutes. These 2 was left in a little bit longer, so these took an hour. Okay, I took them out. These are already cool. I sprayed them down and I put them to cool. So I'm gonna rest these over here. These ones I just took out of the oven a few minutes ago. They're a little bit cool, but they're still hot right now. And I'm gonna spray these. So what I did is I set the timer. I left these in for 90 minutes. And at the last 30 minutes, I lowered the stove because my stove was at 350. I cook all the cakes at 350. But into an hour, after an hour, I lowered the stove to like 250. And I finished cooking it that way, okay? Because the edge looked a little dark, but the inside was still not cooked. So that's what I did. So in this bottle right here, I have half a cup of rum, Mount Gay rum, and half a cup of port wine, okay? So what I'm gonna do now, my cakes are still hot. While your cakes is hot, you need to spray them with some rum, and you can spray and put as much as you want, okay? So let's go ahead and spray these. They're still hot, as you can see. So if you're gonna spray them, put some nice rum on it. This is called rum cake, guys. When you eat this cake, make sure you don't drive. Make sure you're not driving when you eat this, because this got a lot of alcohol in it. You see how it just evaporates and it just soaks it in? And what you can do with your toothpick, you can take your toothpick and stick some holes in it if you like, right? I don't think I need to do that with this, and you can do it with the other one as well. I already did this to the other cakes. And guys, when with this cake, you don't have to refrigerate this cake. You leave it out of the refrigerator, and as long as you soak it with rum and you put it in an airtight container, it will last for, it could last for 4 weeks outside of the refrigerator, not being refrigerated. But you have to make sure that you cover it, and it's not, you know, covered tightly, otherwise it's gonna dry out, and you don't want that to happen, okay? So you can keep spraying some alcohol on it and just keep it like that. You put as much as you want or as little as you want. After it's sitting here for a little while and it come to a complete cool because it's too hot right now to cut, I will come back and I will taste it for you. I could taste the fumes from the spray that I'm spraying is going to my throat. So I feel like I'm drinking some alcohol. But I think I'm going to have a glass of wine before I get to bed. What do you think? I'll be back in a few minutes, guys. Okay, guys. So, time to check and test our cake so that I can taste it for you. Now, this one I'm going to take out. It is still... These ones have already cooled completely. So let me show you these, guys. These are the ones that I will be giving away. See, they came out nicely. They all came out nicely and they have their little covers on. So these are the ones that I'm going to be giving away. These are the ones that I'm going to be keeping here. So let me go around a little in the pan. As you can see, it moved away from the pan. So I really don't need to do that. This is our cake, guys. Now let me take the bottom. Oh, it's heavy. It's solid heavy. And this is a paper that I put on there earlier. Take that off now. And guys, this is our black cake. Okay, guys, now it is time to cut the cake. It's still a tipsy bit warm. It should be a little bit cooler, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut it for you so that I can taste it. Best part of my job is getting to taste. So let's taste it for you. Big slice over here. This is a big slice, but here we go, guys. So this is our black cake. Guys, it looks nice. The texture looks nice. So let me put this aside so I can taste that one. Guys, I will taste a piece for you. It looks absolutely, it came with the texture, looks really nice. So let's see what it tastes like. Here we go. Guys, I think this is the best one I've ever done. It is good. It is moist. It is moist. It is good. Oh my God. Just the rum. If you're eating this, guys, make sure that you're not driving, because you'll be drinking and driving. Don't drive when you eat this. It is really, really good, guys. Look at it. It is nice and moist. See how moist it is? Oh gosh, it tastes so good. I must have another piece. This is your Christmas fruit cake. Great cake, black cake. My husband's gonna love this. Make this recipe for your holidays, guys. It came out really good. If you follow that recipe, it should come out perfect. It is very good. It's very tasty. Everything, the texture is just right. I can taste the fruit a little bit. if you're the type of person that don't want to taste the fruit and all those little crunchy pieces, if you don't want to taste that, you can blend it like very liquidy and you won't taste that. But every person that like to crunch on a little bit of fruit, which I do, perfect. Guys, I have fun making this for my family, and I hope you have fun making some black cake for your family. And don't forget, make some extra and give some to your friends. And if you go to Cave Shepherd, this is gonna cost you a lot of money at Cave Shepherd, okay? So you get a tin and you make one, you give it to your friend and you say Merry Christmas. I had fun making this, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the cake, and if you go ahead and make a cake, let me know how your cake come out. Until next time, bye bye.